welcome back to my channel and happy 2023. I have some goals and things, as I'm sure we all do, and I just thought it'd be fun to kind of sit here and go through my sort of goals for the year. Hopefully that inspires anybody who's noodling around what the heck are they gonna do this year. I mean, it is the 5th today, so it's kind of like, clearly I did not just get up and jump right into goals either, so don't worry about it. It takes as long as it takes. Yeah, I just figured it would be a fun thing to kind of look through and mark down in stone publicly live on YouTube the things I want to accomplish and see if we get them done. I have here my little Louis Vuitton planner. I finally took the plunge last year and bought this because I'm one of those people who would come back from holiday and then realize, oh, it's the new year and I need to buy a new planner. Like, I was never organized enough to go get the next year's planner prior to the end of the year. And then I'd just be like lost without a planner for like the first couple weeks of the year at work, which admittedly, you know, there's not a whole lot going on. But still, it drove me personally crazy. So I finally invested. You don't have to get the Louis Vuitton, but I was on a small leather goods kick last year. Got this, and I like it. This or any binder, you know, same rules apply if you just get like a Filofax or something. But what I like is there are these lovely templates. I did actually purchase this one. I know I'm a designer and I purchased a template, gag, but I had a lot going on. So I was planning a wedding last year. But I purchased these templates from Etsy. You download them and then you can print them off yourself. So that's what I did. And I just put them all in sections in my planner, how I like them. I also bought these tabs. You can kind of see them off to the side here. The tabs come with stickers, so you can pick the categories that you know you care about, and it comes with a little today bookmark that is, it's got little slits. I don't know if it's coming across, but it's actually like cut right in the hole there, so you can take it out, move it to next week, and easily slot it back into the rings without having to open your rings all the time. But basically the sections that I went with are as follows. So as you can see, there was a little bit of a printing mishap here. I don't know what happened, but on all my weekly planner pages, but only on the right hand side, so like the front page, I guess, this happened. It's fine. I don't care. I know what it says. So basically, going back to the very, very front of the planner, I have just some little printable pieces that came, like, I think this literally came with, I don't even remember now, something that I ordered. And then this one behind it, keep moving forward. Oh, again, don't remember. I think it might have come even with the inserts that I got for this, but I basically just keep little cute things in this front pocket that like look aesthetic and also are a little bit uplifting. And then over here, I bought this on Amazon actually. This is the same size as a Filofax. I can't remember what size, but it's a standard size, so you can buy inserts and things for it from other places, from paper companies, from all over the place. So I got this little sleeve that holds cards. This is the thank you that came with the inserts. And these are some business cards that were in my purse. So there's one from a tattoo place where I got my tattoo done in Colorado when we were on my bachelorette trip. And then I have like a masseuse in the back here that I used to see that was just loose in my purse and wallet and now has a home here. And then I have a little sticky note sheet. They're not very aesthetic. These literally came out of like, actually I think it's right there, that like sticky note book, which is just one of those books that you get like thrown at you at work. So not a super fancy sticky note collection, but they get the job done. And as you can see at the top here, I have them sort of marking specific pages that I want to refer back to within sections. So that's what I use these for. And then these obviously are just regular Post-it notes. Then these are some lovely notes my husband wrote me that I stuck in here. He likes to put sticky notes with cute messages all over my desk, so I keep them. Then I have a goals section. All of the pages in this template had like a cute message on the first page. So these are the goals I just wrote down that we will be going over today for 2023. but there's a bunch of pages in here. There's quarterly goals, quarterly review, so you can sit down and go over the goals you made and did you reach them. There's even a 5-year plan in the back, like a 5-year vision. It tells you how to write one and then gives you area to write your own. The next section is lists, which a lot of these sections obviously don't get changed out year over year because they're just ongoing. For instance, lists, I have some ongoing to-do lists in here that have not been completed but still need to be completed. And you can do them by topic. So my lists have very specific, like shopping lists. This is one of the lists I worked on last year. That's like, these are my rules as far as what I'm allowed to buy. I can't go out and just buy things that are on sale anymore. I have to buy things that I actually need. And then I have lists for things I want to buy for certain recipes I want to try. Now, the mistake I made with this list is I didn't write down what recipe it was for, so I got some things like maraschino cherries and then never remembered what I actually purchased those for. So definitely make sure your lists are targeted. Don't make my mistake. But yeah, I have all types of note pages for all types of notes, and then there's a little page bookmark in here that I also purchased as a part of this little collection so that you can bookmark the note that you are on, since these pages just kind of fall in sequence. I just have it bookmarking all the empty pages in the back of the section. Then I have my schedule. This obviously gets used the most, and this is still got last year's pages in it because I wasn't as diligent as I should have been getting using all of my pages, so I have some pages left that are empty that I'm just going to use this year. So got monthly pages, then you have weekly pages, and those are the pages I was just showing. I didn't print the daily pages because since I use my iCal calendar and Outlook calendar, like digital calendars for work, I tend to not really pay attention to a daily written planner, but I do like to keep this weekly up to date so that at a glance I know all of the things I need to get done in a week, and then my appointments and meetings are kept in my iCal. So weekly planner followed by finances. So this is kind of where we plan purchases. I'm going to skip over that section because there is stuff written in there, but I have pages in there that help me track debt, and I'm working to be debt free. So that is something that I like to track as far as how much debt I owe and to what, and how my payments are tracking. And then I also have pages in here for month to month, so you can kind of track your month to month expenses. I use a budgeting app, so I don't use those pages quite as much, but I do like to sit down and look through the entire month and write down what dates certain bills are going to hit, just so that I have an outlook for the entire month, and so that in my brain I kind of know when a lot of money is coming out of my account, for instance, for my car note. Then I have this projects section that I keep teasing. This is my first page in here. It's just a laundry list of videos that I have planned. Basically, you can just sit down and write down the project title, some notes, and then to-dos that you have to complete the project. So that's what these pages are for. There's also work hours in the back, which is nice if you do any freelance, which I occasionally do freelance still. And then there's meeting note pages, which is also nice because then you can write down any notes you might have for a meeting. And then the back section here, I believe it's just notes. Yeah, so this is just a catch-all kind of note section with a bunch of pages for lists. I tend to use the lists section more than this section, so it kind of ends up being a little bit emptier, but I do like that it exists, so I can use it if I need to, if I just need a place to list something out. This is another one though that I would say gets kind of nixed by us having phones and things, right? Like I have a notes app on my phone that definitely gets more use than this ever would. And then in the very, very back, I have stickers, and then like these two Ziploc-y baggy things basically are where I keep records. I have checks that have been cashed that I need to shred, and then in the very, very back, I have more stickers. So this is just kind of what ends up being in the back of the book. Kind of the front and back are basically used for items that I use to organize my planner. It's not super fancy. I got this about halfway through the year, and I'm clearly still sort of working through how I want to use each part of it, but I do love it. I love how compact it is. I went with the medium size, so this is the MM. It is a little tough to write in, like when you're on this side, your hand will tend to get, I'm right-handed, so I tend to bump into the rings when I'm writing on that side, right? And that is my one complaint, but I felt like the GM was so large that it just wouldn't really be good to travel with. Now, admittedly, I haven't traveled with this yet, but you know, that potential exists for me to want to take it somewhere with me. And the GM, I'm not ashamed to say, is also well out of my price range for something that I would be willing to buy that I use, you know, so infrequently, and especially compared to my phone, can definitely live without. So this is just, you know, me kind of trying to have this printable, you know, print it yourself planner last year, and I got this size for a great price on eBay. And here we are. I would definitely say so far so good. I would probably want to customize it a little bit more this year. I'm considering making my own pages at some point as well, because I'm not crazy about how these came out. And a lot of the sections, like when I downloaded the PDF, I did end up deleting pages and moving stuff around. So I think for my use, I would probably want to customize the whole section now that I know how I like my sections. All in all, I would definitely say like 10 out of 10 on this planner. I love having a customizable one, and I'm stoked to fill it up with all of my projects and plans for the new year. So, with all of that said, let's go to goals, because that is the topic of today's conversation. For my 2023 goals, I tried to think about, you know, what do I want to accomplish this year? I feel like last year we hit a real high note in life where we got married, we had this amazing honeymoon, we had a lot of firsts, getting, you know, first Christmas, first New Year's, getting to entertain in our house for the first time, like big entertaining for Friendsgiving and other holidays. The year we bought this house was the first year of the pandemic. So we bought this house, celebrated my birthday, and basically the entire world shut down the same month. So we've been just nesting and like decorating, but we realized we haven't really had any proper entertainment go on here. It's definitely been kind of a quiet homeowner experience. So we were excited this year to finally do the things that we bought this house for, which was have all of our friends come over for Friendsgiving or invite our families over to celebrate a birthday. All of that to say, I feel like 2023 has some big shoes to fill. So sitting down and making this list was a little tough, but I decided to be a little gentle with myself. I actually broke out my goals to make things a little bit easier for myself and take some of the pressure off. I broke my goals into two sections. I have a start section with 4 goals that are things I need to start doing. I either don't do them at all or don't do them enough, and I need to start doing them more this year. And then I have a continue section with 3 goals, so 7 total, which are things that I'm already doing. I started last year or, you know, recently-ish, and I want to continue working on those things. So starting from the top, in the start goals, we have the very first thing I want to do, which may sound kind of funny, but I want to dress the way I want. So that's exactly what I wrote. I wrote dress the way you want, because I have this tendency to kind of try to dress the way I think everybody else will dress for an event. Again, I know this probably sounds silly, but there are probably like 3 people who know what I'm talking about. I am a chronic overdresser. Generally speaking, if I'm invited to a thing, I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, this is my opportunity to wear, you know, insert cool thing here. And then I work from home, so it's even worse as far as like, I don't get to wear my nice things. I'm always very concerned about how that'll come across, how it will be received. Will people be upset that I'm dressing over the top for their event? And I don't know why I feel like this. It's probably left over from like high school and college where everybody's constantly judging you. But as an adult, my friends, like, you know, I need to give myself a little credit here. My friends are pretty great. we're all kind of like come as you are, I take you as you are, I love you for who you are sort of people. There's no one in my friends group that would be like, wow, can you believe Kelly came to our house dressed nice? Like, it's not gonna happen. I don't know why I'm editing myself so much, and that is one thing I want to work on stopping. And this kind of feeds well into my second note, but just in general, I think I sort of stop myself before I try a lot with a lot of things. YouTube was a big thing. I mean, for 10 years, I said I wanted to do YouTube. People who started YouTube when I said I wanted to start YouTube are now the PewDiePies of the world. And I just sat there terrified because I didn't want to fail. So one thing in general, I would say a theme of my life would be that I need to stopping. Like, Nike, just do it is literally what I've been saying to people. It's like, just do it, just try it, just see if it works out. Stop killing an idea before you even try. I'm very, very good at that. Number 2 on the list is speak up more and have confidence. And this goes both for work and my social life. I'm better at this with my social life, but definitely for work, I have a tendency to talk like this and like not really emphasize my voice and what I'm saying, and kind of like literally, even physically hunch my shoulders and just try to disappear into the background so that nobody knows that I spoke and that I don't take up space, because I don't want to interrupt what's happening. Half of human interaction is that. It's not less, but it's not 100% what you're saying, it's how you're saying it, right? So if you're saying an idea and you're saying it like this, then the person who's talking to you is gonna feel like, you don't really believe in your idea, why are you telling me about this idea? But if you say your idea like, hey, I think we should, then they'll listen to you because you're, demanding attention with your body language. So that's something I need to do. My husband's actually helping me. Like, when we go to networking events, I'm the person who's like, hi, my name is Kelly, and please don't judge me. I'm so weird. Oh my God, #awkward. And he's just like, hey, how the heck are you? Like, he's so just chill and easy to talk to and really approachable. But he'll be like, hey, I think Kelly's trying to say something, if I do the little mouse voice thing, so that I'm forced then to assert my point and say the thing, and I can't just tap out and be like, oh, no one heard me, I guess I'll just disappear. So that's something I'm working on. At work, obviously, I don't have him as my cheerleader to do that, but I am trying to be a little bit more come off mute. Hey, I think we should do this, and not just sit there quietly on mute with my headphones in another room and never contribute. It's been going pretty well. I definitely think that's something I started to do at my current job. This has been a really great job for me, where I feel like people do ask my opinion, and when I give it, they care. So that kind of naturally makes me feel more confident to give it. And more often I find myself just being like, hey, I think we should do that, and not even thinking about it, right? Whereas before I would have anxiety for 30 minutes before I came off mute to say something, now I'm just kind of doing it. I just need to translate that same confidence into real life work events and personal events, and I hope that this year I can continue to make improvements in that area. Continuing on my start list, number 3, I have update my website, my portfolio, my resume, and launch store. I have some ideas for my website surrounding templates, as I mentioned with this binder, my planner here. I am fully capable of making my own templated pages for this. I would love to sell those and offer them and make those available to others. But basically, I have 10 years of design experience, and I don't know why I don't do this. I made a bunch of things for my wedding, and people have been telling me ever since I got married, you should sell that. I think they mean I should sell my services as a print designer, which I don't really want to do because I have a day job. So my caveat is, well, hey, I'll make those templates and sell the template so someone can download that and edit it to their heart's desire and not have to interface with me, because for 40 hours a week, give or take, I'm working. But one of my plans for 2023 is to update my website, because currently my website is woefully outdated. It doesn't even have my last 2 jobs on there, so that's 3 years now of missing portfolio work. My resume, same thing, and I got married, so my name's wrong on a lot of this stuff. And I also would like to open up my store. Right now, I just have prints on my store. Fun fact, if you didn't know, I sell a lot of the prints like this one in the background that I made. So they are actually listed on my website. So I have that linked somewhere on the screen / down below. Definitely check it out. But I basically want to expand that store to include things like templates, also knitted goods, anything like that that I have created and would like to offer as a product for someone to purchase will be available on my store on my website. Now, number 4 is build an app. I feel like every product designer potentially has this on their vision board. Got some ideas, I'm tumbling around, but eventually, hopefully, I can bring an app through to final publish on a store. That would be amazing. I don't know if we'll do all of that this year, but I definitely like to do like a prototype. I feel like a prototype is attainable. So that's something else that's on my start list. Like I said, it's very important to not only start things, but to be persistent and keep at them, even when it's discouraging. And don't compare yourself to anyone but yourself, because your progress is the only thing that matters in your journey. So for my continues, I have continue learning and improving at ballet and improving flexibility. Now, this is not something I've talked about on my channel, but I danced for 12 years. I really don't remember. While I was in school, I danced from like age 4 to, I don't really remember when I quit. I feel like I was 16. Yes, that would be 12 years. So we're gonna go with that. Majority of that time I was in tap, but I did do hip hop, ballet, and jazz at various times during my dance career. Then the housing market crashed and everything crashed and I quit. And when I quit, I kind of decided, okay, I can't afford to do this, so I'm shutting it out of my life. Like, I don't even want to see somebody else dancing because it's just gonna make me upset that I had to quit. So I really just truly like cut it off like it was a gangrene limb and moved on and just never revisited it. Flash forward to I guess it was last year, so 2022, like September-ish. I got COVID and I was bored out of my mind because this particular instance that I got COVID, it was not the first time, but it was the first time that my symptoms were so mild that I would not have known that I had it had I not known who I got it from, which was my husband. He came home from a trip and got sick. He started feeling sick, so we knew something was up. We just stayed home, but I figured I would get it because I had been around him, and I did, but I couldn't go anywhere, and I didn't feel that bad. So I was like all over, I don't even know, Instagram, Reddit, just like looking up stuff, reading, playing video games, and somehow on Instagram, I think like a ballet video, like someone dancing in pointe, like just came across my screen and I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I did my usual like, yeah, but I can't dance, and scrolled right past it. I saw another one. I don't even remember how many it took, but I finally went and looked up like, am I too old to dance? And I'm not apparently the only person who has asked this question. There's a whole subreddit called r/ballet. You should check it out if you are at all interested. And the very first pinned topic at the top is, am I too blank to do ballet? So I'm not the first person, and I surely will not be the last to have this question. So I was like, okay, I guess I'm going back to dance. I found a dance studio and joined their adult open classes. It's actually the Atlanta Ballet, like in the city that performs. They have open classes. And I started going every week, and I did that through the end of the year. And it was amazing. And I have been loving it so much. It's such a good workout, but I'm also like mentally engaged in a way that I never feel like I am with other types of workouts. So I was very more consistent than I've ever been. And wow, I'm so happy and so proud of myself. But I have goals, because we're talking about goals, of course. I have goals that relate to ballet. In life, I would like to get on point. I never got to that point. There's a lot of puns in this video. I'm doing pretty well. Never got to that. And I really want to just see if I can do it, see what it feels like, and accomplish that. That's kind of a years off thing. That's not happening this year. But in life, I would like to do that. So continuing to work towards that and working on my flexibility is working towards point and working towards the splits. And I just have to stay consistent. These are not things you can rush. So wherever I'm at the end of the year, as long as I can look back over the year and say, yep, I did it. I went to the class, I met, my expectation for how frequently I wanted to do this thing, then I will consider that a win. And number 6, I have knit. This is again something I'm continuing. real quick, I can just kind of pop in here, but you'll be seeing this somewhere soon. I made a pillow. So kind of laddering back up to my first goal of one of my earlier goals of making a store. I've been knitting things like out of control. Everyone got a scarf for Christmas. I have so many projects, so many needles. I've committed to knitting. It's like my new favorite thing to do while I watch shows, especially when I watch shows. It keeps me from doom scrolling. So definitely something I want to continue to do. I'm making more pillows for the house. I have so much yarn. Michael's had the audacity to have a 50% off yarn sale after Christmas, so I went a little insane, but loving it. My specific goals for knitting are I want to make a sweater, a cardigan, and some matching outfits. I started making stuff last year and then it very quickly became time to get ready for Christmas gifts, so I pivoted fully to knitting Christmas scarves for all of my immediate family and didn't really make a whole lot of outfits, which is fine. I mean, scarves are the great entry-level knitting object. It's just a rectangle, you do the pattern and you repeat it forever until scarf. So it's a very, very friendly and approachable way to start knitting, and that repetition will really get you good at the types of stitches you need to know how to do for more complicated garments. But I did make a top. I'll show a picture here, a tank top using a pattern by, I can't remember her name, I'm terrible. I will put her name on the screen with the picture of the shirt. But I also bought a pattern to make matching shorts, so that'll be my first outfit. And then I have another pattern in my possession for a cardigan using yarn that's somewhere over there, and a sweater using this yarn right here that I wound up right after Christmas. So I have a lot of projects in flight, and I will definitely be achieving those goals very soon. It's definitely going to be a brain challenge to do a garment with like a collar and sleeves, or with like a whole drapey front situation or pockets, but you know, that's why it's a goal. Then my very, very last goal, which is so topical, is YouTube. I want to continue making videos and content like this for my channel because I really enjoy it, even though I groan every week when I realize, oh, Friday's coming up and I have nothing edited. So definitely want to continue to do this. I have so many ideas planned, so many series planned, and I just want to keep at it. I think it's been really good for me to have this creative outlet that's not work. It's inspired a lot of these other creative hobbies, and like I said, it's been on my New Year's resolution wish list for probably about 10 years. It's really insane that it's been on my list for that long. And I finally accomplished it middle of last year, apropos of nothing. So I want to continue doing that, not let the fire go out, you know, let's keep at it, keep making content, and just, you know, have a really awesome year of making stuff. So that is my list in full. I have, of course, tons of other ideas swimming around in my head, but to give myself a realistic line item sort of document to go off of, these are the things that I'm going to be attacking with the full force of all of my mental faculties in 2023. So hopefully you enjoyed, maybe you got inspired by my list to start ballet for yourself. Yes, join us. We are Strong Ballet Corps on Pinterest. We'll get you there. Just type it in. You'll thank me later. Like, comment, subscribe, all of the things. And I will see you next video, which will be coming out next Friday, because what are we doing? We're being consistent. We're continuing. We're hitting our New Year's goals in 2023. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.